Good morning, Jesse McRae. How you doing this morning, sir?
Mr. Woods.
Good.
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, man.
Another Thursday.
Another Thursday. We back upright looking at each other on
Yes,
August
sir.
30th, 2018.
Talking to each other, responding to each other.
Talking and responding. Man, dude, it's always a pleasure, man, to be up right on this side of the
Yes,
dirt.
it is. Yes,
where
it
I
is.
can see you and I can talk to you.
Absolutely, and I can respond.
There you go.
I don't need you giving me flowers when I'm in a box.
Don't want to do that, Jay. Don't want to do that. It would just kill me. I don't want to do that. Well, man, we're back here today. Wonderful day, August 30th, 2018, at PN Global News, and we're here at the studio with my partner, Jesse McRae, the third.
The third.
The third.
Yes. I'm very proud of that.
The third.
The incomparable Rodney Woods, plural, with an S.
Thank you.
No, it's good, man. It's good. We've had some good segments. We've
Yes,
had a great week. I tell you,
week.
Orlando was off the chain.
Yes, it was. Yes,
Off
it
the
was.
chain, man.
But we're going to tell everybody about the Orlando event, man. When we come back the following week, we're going to tell you all about what happened, what transpired in Orlando. It's just so awesome to see all your partners.
And some of that video we got to edit.
Yeah, we got to do that too.
Yeah. It was good.
But, to see, Wanda Durant, Kevin Durant's mom
yeah.
and the things she's trying to do, and T-Mac and AD.
And Gwen was really in her element.
Gwen
was awesome.
was off the
Awesome.
chart.
Awesome.
Sean, Wendell, thank y'all so much, man. And
I didn't realize Sean was really he was masterful, man.
yeah,
As a master of ceremony, he was good.
yeah.
I gotta give him kudos.
Yeah.
That was good. It was well
Man,
done.
and our wonderful partners at Verite, bro.
I tell you what, Pat and Linda. And what's interesting is that they really communicated the theme of what we're about in a major way, and that is that we're trying to help companies grow on this platform by becoming more educated on the various issues that are important to small and medium business, but also that we're looking for companies that are looking to grow through partnership. And I thought that they delivered that so beautifully. So kudos to them. Glad that we were able to align with them. I thought that, Carrie and Karen were great in working the room.
Yep, Carrie and Karen.
Great in working the room. Of course, we got overshadowed a little bit by T-Mac and AD.
Yeah, I mean, I only overshadowed because y'all too tall, man. I gotta walk around you to see, and shake everybody's hand, that kind of stuff. But the red carpet, man, Shaquille, Rhonda, Robert, K-Mill, the whole PN team, Sharice, everybody.
Yes.
Man, God, it was awesome. Thank y'all so much for the good work that you guys do.
You made it incredible.
Day to day.
Made it incredible.
Even not just day to day, even at nighttime, because I'm calling you about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, Jay?
Yes, sir. I'm like, here's the thing. I thought business hours were 9 to 5. Apparently they're 9 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We're an entrepreneur. What are you talking about? Ain't no 9 to 5 with us.
It's not
work all the time.
9 a.m. to 9 a.m.
9 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Fair enough.
We gotta do something.
Fair enough.
Man, we out here again, man, at our group, Unified Network.
Right here in Frisco.
Frisco, Texas. Did I say Texas? Like a country, Texas.
Boy, I tell you, it must have been one of them Hungry Jack biscuits.
Man, I was thinking about my hometown, Nashville, Tennessee, so I couldn't get Texas out with Tennessee. But right here in Frisco, Texas.
And all humor aside, one of the things that you and I have always talked about is how do we continue to deliver a level of sophistication, not just with the content, but also being able to invite our guests into a world-class venue. And we can't thank the team here, Ed and Corden, the team, for what they do for us here at Unified Network. So, shout out to them, and definitely keep the light shining on my forehead. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Keep it on your forehead. I don't want you to show my forehead. Of course, don't show my forehead. We don't need that to happen. That's a big light. But no, man, we back again at PN Global News, man. And Jesse, we continue our talks about the small business community.
Yes, indeed. The inconvenient truth of investing in them.
Yeah, the inconvenient truth of investing in small businesses, and just the inconvenient truth of just not knowing. Not knowing the right questions or what to ask. And man, we had such a great show last week with Mark Howard and Marty Ezel. That was a great show.
Great show. Very impressive gentleman.
Absolutely. A world worth of knowledge to pass on to the listening public and the viewing audience, man. It's incredible. And we're going to continue to do those things.
Yeah. I mean, we got some good subjects to expound on.
Yep.
So.
And we got a lot of SMEs coming to this show just to give you the answers even to ask the questions that you don't want to ask. We'll ask them for you.
Yes, we will.
And
yes,
try
we
to get
will.
the answers. Y'all know Jesse will ask the question for you, right?
Well, I will, and
You'll do it.
I'll try to deliver it in a way that's genteel, but I will ask. You know,
He
but
will
I
ask
will
the
definitely
question.
ask. You know, Rodney, one of the things that I know we covered last week,
Right.
in having Marty and Mark on the show is understanding that growth has its implications.
Yes, it does.
You know,
It
I
does.
think both Mark and Marty covered it very, very well. That whether this is an injection of capital to fund the operation, an injection of capital to recapitalize the firm and also defease legacy debt,
Yep.
or an infusion of capital to accommodate a strategic acquisition. One of the things that must be considered is what is the expectation for the capital, and then what's the expectation for the return on the capital.
There's always a return on the capital.
Always.
I mean, the expectations have to be met. You know, we say it all the time. A lot of investors don't want to just give you capital for you just to do whatever you want to do.
You mean tell me that I can't take some of that and fund my Maserati payment?
Nope.
Okay. I mean,
Ask me some more questions.
I
No.
did start the firm. I mean, I started the company, and so I've got a lifestyle to maintain.
I understand.
Yeah.
But no, it's not for that. You can't go out there and fund a Maserati or any other Maserati.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's not for that. You know, the capital is for you to scale your business. You know, to hire the right people to help you, you know, grow that business. And even sometimes, I mean, even if it's an acquisition where you have to go, you know, find another company that you want to partner with in your industry that can make you even stronger.
Sure.
You know, to go after bigger contracts, you know, with the major corporations or the tier one suppliers, because there's a whole, you know, other play out there outside of just trying to work for major corporations.
Well said.
You
Well
know,
said.
sometimes you want to try to go work for that tier one who supplies the major corporation. Yeah,
Sure.
so
Sure.
that's a huge market. And actually, that market, Jesse, is bigger than the regular major corporations. And we only got 446.
46. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and I might be off on a number, or we might be off on a number, 446 major
corporations.
publicly traded companies that said that, hey, we really believe in diversity and inclusion.
A dedicated spend. And you know what's interesting about that, Rodney, we talk about this all the time, is how the marketplace will be slow to accept a concept.
Yeah.
But then once they embrace it, over time it becomes a trend.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things that we've continued to see really bloom in front of our eyes has been this wonderful little statistic called D&I, diversity and inclusion.
Diversity and inclusion.
But not only that, there's been a recorded statistical benefit in that.
Right.
Census Bureau data ending 2016 says
Okay,
that
come on with it.
That 10%.
Come on, hey, I'm finna tell them, come with that prayer cloth moment.
10%.
Give us some statistics, Jesse.
10% increase in diversity and inclusion.
Right.
Equated to an 8 cents on the dollar
Wow.
profitability.
8 cents, Jesse?
8 cents on the dollar.
Now, 8 cents on every dollar.
On every dollar. That's in addition to
Okay.
the profitability that was demonstrated prior to D&I.
Okay.
So diversity and inclusion, diversity does not mean taking away. Diversity in and of itself does not mean merely to set aside.
Sure.
Inclusion does not necessarily mean guaranteed.
Yeah. Preach, brother. Preach.
But when we talk about
Preach, Jesse.
D&I, what we're
Yes,
talking about
yeah.
is let's have an institutional commitment
Yeah.
to allow our supplier base to better represent the communities that we sell to
Or serve.
or serve, and let's highlight, embrace, and promote the fact
Yep.
that now it has been statistically proven that this is not only good for business,
Yeah.
it is good for America.
That's good for America.
And that's just another plug on what you were talking about with making America great again.
Making America great. We really know how to make America great.
Yes, we
right?
do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But no, I mean the social impact and and putting money back into the businesses that are in our communities or the places we grew up at, whether it be the city, the state, or even as an athlete entertainer who's
Sure.
playing in multiple states.
Sure,
With
sure.
T-Mac or the Kevin Durant's or the LeBron James. They all play in different states, and they represent a big brand.
Yes, they do.
But they could also own a lot of businesses, Jesse, that are in the states they play in or the places they actually grew up at. So
Giving back in a real way.
In a real way where you're talking about, I own that manufacturing plant now that makes the back of all the Apple phones.
Now hold on a second. Let's put a pin in that, pun intended. Right here at Penn Global News, Jesse McRae, Rodney Woods, carrying on the series of the Inconvenient Truth of Investing in Small Business. So, Rodney, you bring up a great point.
Thank you.
You talk about taking an affluent member of our society, an athlete or an entertainer, that has all the trappings of success. They're usually going to be awash with risk capital. In other words, they got plenty of money.
Plenty of money.
And they're looking for ways to do more than just have a club.
Or a car wash.
Or a restaurant.
Or, I won't say that one, but anyway. I was going to go somewhere with, but like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Or it's even beyond just allowing themselves to be monetized in terms of their likeness for a larger brand.
But yes, yeah.
So it's more than that.
It's way more than that. And you know, man, and just to bring this up, Wanda Durant. Wanda Durant and I had a conversation about this, and she was like, Rodney, you know.
It was right before Winter Orlando.
Yeah, right before Winter Orlando. We had a conversation about it. She said, Rodney, all of these guys that have the liquidities playing sports, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, NASCAR, entertainers, whatever, they're not always blowing all their money. They're not blowing all their money.
So despite what the headlines would suggest.
Despite what the headlines suggest, yes. They're not blowing all their money. There's a lot of investments being made that there was not a clear understanding that this money was invested in this, and this, and it was a loss. It's a risk associated with every dollar, right? But there's a lot of money being lost just investments through different firms, not to call names or point fingers at anybody, but there's a lot of not understanding what that investment represented because he didn't know.
Wow.
And they
or she didn't know.
Or she didn't know, right. You know, Venus and Serena. You know, they good athletes, they got a lot of investments. But I'm not saying that they don't understand, I'm not saying anybody. So just there's a few that don't understand.
Sure.
And there's been, I don't know, we say it all the time. There's a lot of mismanagement of monies, bad investments, which happens. But a lot of times, a lot of us, athletes, entertainers, don't understand how it really works.
Now, you know what's funny?
And we got to educate them.
We got to educate them. You know, I just had a thought.
Yeah, what was that thought?
This takes me back to one of our first shows.
Woo, way back.
And we were talking about the cleaner.
Oh yeah, we got to bring the cleaner back.
We got to bring the cleaner back, man. Because you know
we got to bring the cleaner back.
Because what you're talking about is part and parcel to the segment of our show now, and that's the inconvenient truth that athletes and entertainers have to embrace when they come to find out that Ray, Andre, Nina, and Simone.
That sounds like a rap song to me, Jay.
I'm not gonna rap today.
Okay. All right.
Today is
sound
not
like
today.
A
today is
a rap song to me, Corey.
It is not Rap Thursday.
All right.
But the point is that that's one of the inconvenient truths is when this information is brought to them. So I know that we're going to get to more of that as we progress through the broadcast today. But that is very important to consider. That it's not just a less than advantageous investment.
Right.
Perhaps you weren't armed with the tools to understand the risks associated with it.
Tools, yes. Understanding, probably more yes. Understanding and education around what's really taking place. You know, we talk about this a lot, man. We don't always understand all the financial terms that has been presented to us.
We don't want to ask.
Right. We know the buzzwords, we know all that kind of stuff. We know the S&P.
Yeah.
But if you really go out and ask some people, like, really what does that stand for?
S&P?
Yeah.
D&B?
D&B. Ask what it stands for. And this, it's not bad. It's just we just don't know.
Sure.
And what you don't know, you don't know.
What you don't know, you don't know. I love that's one of my favorite sayings.
I know you always say that.
Yeah.
I'm still never Jesse.
The unknown unknowns.
What you don't know, you don't know, and the unknown unknowns, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, listen, man, I'm glad we're here today
yes,
again,
sir.
Jesse.
Always good.
At Penn Global News, August the 30th, 2018. But we're going to come back after the break, and we'll be back after the break. That's right. I got it right that time.
In a minute.
Marie, you have prediabetes. Diabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
All right. August the 30th, 2018, back here at Penn Global News. Rodney Woods and my partner.
Jesse McRae. You know what, man? I'm thinking about something.
Uh-oh. See, sometimes I don't know what Jesse thinks about, so tell me, brother.
You realize that Labor Day is upon us.
Yeah, man. You know, Jesse,
I mean,
remember,
where did the year go, man?
I don't know, but you know, I tell you this, Jesse, Miss Tate had given me a birthday gift of the numbers, you know, to turn the calendar.
The blocks.
The blocks.
Oh, my goodness.
To turn
the blocks.
the calendar every day so I could keep up with what day it was. Because, you know, you leave for the weekend, you come back, or you go out of town, you come back, and we left on the 1st, we came back it's 31st. Hey, man, this like time is getting away from. We talk about time and time, they don't have no fear.
What did we say?
They don't hesitate.
The days go by slow, but the years go by fast.
Oh, my God.
Well, these
yes, sir.
days have turned into months, and this month is almost over.
Almost over.
So
man.
welcome back, man.
Welcome back to you, brother.
Well,
It's always
a pleasure.
Yes,
always
sir,
a pleasure.
yes, sir.
Penn Global News, Jesse
Yes,
McRae,
sir.
Rodney Woods. You know, you can always find us every Thursday.
Where at?
www.playbookInvestorswithin.network.com. Yeah, I just want everybody to know I take particular pleasure in emphasizing that S. Because you draw two parallel lines through it, and it's a dollar sign.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why we're here. We're talking about commerce.
Yeah.
We're talking about small business and the inconvenient truth of realizing that this small or middle market enterprise has potential to grow, but now it may be at a unique inflection point to where it has to solicit an audience that's outside of its known circle in order to get that capital.
You're right.
And we left the last segment talking about a very important aspect of that investing audience being athlete and entertainer.
Yeah.
And how he or she, have probably had some investments that have been lackluster.
Yeah.
I don't want to say have been complete losses.
A lot of lackluster. And you can say how you want to say it. Loss is a loss. Right?
Loss is a loss.
You know, it's like, man, we lost the game by 1. You're lost.
It is still an L.
Right?
There are no consolation prizes
you
in
took a
business.
L, and we don't want you to take an L, right?
No,
Not in this game.
No consolation prizes in
we
business.
don't want you to take an L because, man, it's good for both. You know, good for the investing public, good for the business, good for the athlete entertainers who have invested in companies that make stuff, or you know, render a certain service, that kind of stuff. We don't want L's. L's are too bad. You can't recover in this business world like that.
It's hard to do that.
When you lose $1 million, $2 million, you can't recover from that. That's tough.
Right now, if I can't find $10, my day is off to a bad start.
Yours and mine too.
but you brought up a wonderful point in the lead-in and talking about, you know, Mr. Rand and her bringing to light the fact that despite what we see with these athletes and entertainers in particular, that any losses aren't necessarily due to egregious behavior.
No.
Frivolous behavior at all. They're actually
not.
attempting to make investments, attempting to be a part of this thing that we call American commerce. And some of them have gone beyond just investing in restaurants and bars and allowing themselves to be monetized in terms of premier clothing lines. But now they have an opportunity to arm themselves with the tools and look at making tangible investments in the communities of their origin.
Yeah.
But as you like to say, changing the game or creating that ripple for generations to come. Talk a little bit about some of her expressions, both prior to and while we were in Florida, that are so apropos today.
Yeah, you know, and Wanda, I don't do a great job of trying to say everything that Wanda says because Wanda has her own vernacular.
Oh, she's distinct.
Style,
she's a wonderful woman.
Things she really wants to say,
she
the things she really wants to express. But you know, she also wants to inspire, you know, a lot of women, you know, mothers of a lot of athletes and the athlete community itself on really how to do the right thing, how to understand why this company invested your $10 million, into this deal, but they lost. And some of the things we talked about, she was like, Rodney, I know that all these athletes are not losing all their monies. They're not just, blowing their money and, buying. You buy cars, buy houses, that kind of stuff. But 130 million or 200 million, Jesse, or $300 million, you're not just blowing all that away.
Yeah.
There's some investment, there's some things, and like she was expounding on, like, they don't understand what they don't understand, right? They don't know what they don't know. But we're trying to educate them on the process of how all this takes place.
So all of this money didn't go to caviar and Cristal.
No, they're not. Some of them don't even like it.
Yeah,
So,
I got it. When people thought it was beer, it was high-priced champagne.
High-priced champagne,
Okay,
but no.
But I digress.
No,
so
worries.
when we come
No
back, and we talk about the inconvenient truth, even for an athlete or entertainer, to understand that they don't know everything.
No, absolutely.
That they've made some investments that have not performed, or quite frankly have lost money. But now they have an opportunity. They see that they have another opportunity to remedy that, to get rid of sort of that stain of the L.
Yeah, the loss.
Yep.
The L is a loss,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yeah. Let's minimize that loss.
Minimize that.
Yeah.
So when we talk about our platform, and we think about the guests we had, last week, and how we'll continue to have more guests on
Marty
the show.
and Mark.
Marty and Mark.
Eminem.
And we think about the how we utilize this platform. One of the most important things that they can do is go to our website, amongst others, www.playbookinvestorswithansnetwork.com.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
there is a wealth of information that is available, but it all starts with a willingness.
You gotta want to.
You gotta want
have
a willingness to learn, a desire to really put your foot and your toe back out there.
Yeah, and the thing that we love most about, Tracy and AD and all the fellas, the Jonathan Benders of the world, what we love most is they were willing to get educated themselves.
Indeed.
And be as you used to call it, spoken will, but be more of a champion to say, hey, hold up, we can get this right. We can actually own some stuff in our backyard, whether it be the manufacturer of the clothes that we brand, or the tennis shoes we wear, or the cars we drive, from the tires, those 4 tires on that car, and that spare tire, which is a tire and wheel assembly. Those things right there, those are $500, $600, $700 million contracts with these major corporations: the Toyotas, the Volkswagens, the Nissans, the Hondas, the Hyundais, the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Bentleys. And the Maserati that we talked about before.
So you're saying
so you
saying
how about
this,
we make the tires for that Maserati, or the glass, or the seats for the Maserati?
So if it's got 4 wheels, an axle, air conditioning, leather seats, chances are somebody made that.
Somebody made it. We know for a fact somebody made it.
That's right.
It ain't like you don't have to figure out that part. You bought a Maserati at what's the price point of the Maserati? What's your price point?
High 2s, low 4s.
So high 200,000.
Yes.
For those who don't understand, we're saying 200,000 to the high end of 400,000 plus. Well, somebody made those 4 tires, that's spare. Somebody put the seats in that Maserati. Somebody put the windows in it, the plastic injection molding, the wild harnesses, the lights, the headliners in the car. All of that is made. Why can't we own some of that?
And these are.
I'm about ready to get my prayer cloth. Mom, I'm going to steal Jesse's stuff.
You can have it. You can have it. Preach, as they say.
But why can't we own it, Jesse?
But we keep coming back to that, because you and I talk to CEOs. We talk to senior VPs.
Yeah.
We've had a number of conversations recently with some athletes, and maybe 1 or 2 entertainers, but athletes in particular, that are saying, you know what, Rodney, Jesse, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
And I don't have the same spring. I'm still good.
Yeah, still good.
I'm still playing. I'm still on a roster. I'm
Right.
probably going to be a 6th man here in a couple of years. But I went home during the off season and I saw something for the first time in a long time. My old high school is getting a little raggedy. The neighborhood has changed. There's tractors now in the field that I used to play in, and it's got a lot of overgrowth. Are you telling me that I could put a factory there?
I'm telling you And I'm telling the viewing audience and the listening public, yes, you could put a factory there. You know, let's go back to Arbondale, Florida, T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. There was a Coca-Cola plant that's adjacent, right next to Tracy's house where he grew up at.
Wow.
What if Tracy had a piece of ownership in that Coca-Cola plant that's providing jobs, right?
Very
Making
important.
a lot of money. Coca made a lot of money. You know, they're not endorsing us right now, but hopefully they will.
Right.
But what if he owned a piece of that Coke plant? Right in Arbondale, Florida. When I mean Arbondale, Florida, when Tracy's on this show, he needs to tell you and show you.
Yeah.
It's next to the house he grew up in.
Isn't that something?
How can we own a piece of that? You know?
And that story is played out throughout the country.
And there's multiple things in that plant. Equipment, you know, you got the marketing, advertising, you got social media. Even when it comes to the service side, you still could have had a company that's working for Coke.
Sure.
You know, LED lighting, you know, the lights in the building, right?
Right here at Unified Network in Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, right.
You know,
but what about the flooring?
Yep.
What about the walls,
Yep.
the concrete, the rebar, the paint? I can go on and on, but anyway, man,
Yep,
you know.
yep.
You know how I do it. I'm on my soapbox, and I got my prayer cloth moment, but I'm saying these are the things that they could own, we could own.
Sure. And this is, and not to get too deep into the weeds, but we have to take this to a slightly deeper level and understanding, as you always like to say, what's bigger than job creation? You create a job, you create a sense of self-worth.
Yeah.
From there, you create one's ability, he or she, to exercise their right to participate in this thing called commerce. If someone's working, they're earning. If they're earning, they're spending. If they're spending, someone's selling. So it's this commercial or economic circle of life that you're saying that we have a chance to not only participate in as consumers, but influence as producers and manufacturers.
Absolutely.
That's pretty powerful.
Absolutely. You know, Jay, you remember when we were riding down that road to Houston?
Every single week.
Every single week.
Every.
For like 20 plus weeks.
Yes, indeed.
We were riding down that road, and I'll never forget this particular day. Two of the young fellows that's with us, and been with us, training, you know, to become those mouthpieces for other athletes. One from, you know, the track and field.
Yes.
You know, Darvish Doc Patton.
Three-time Olympian.
Yeah,
can't leave that out.
You know, then Dane Williams, Damon, NFL player.
My homeboy from Arkansas.
Your homeboy from Arkansas that played NFL football.
Yes,
Young, we use him as the millennial.
As the millennial.
The 29-year millennial
Yes,
who's
indeed.
already retired from the
Yes,
NFL, right?
Yes, indeed.
That kind of stuff. But when we were riding down the road, and you do remember this, right? You know I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with it.
Riding down the road, and I'm not a big rapper like you, Jay. You like rap music. I like, you know, I like George Duke.
Careful.
I like the George
let me
Duke
just now,
and the jazz.
Well, for our audience, understand, I am a man that consumes a broad musical palette.
Okay.
But I do have a penchant for a bit of hip hop.
Yes, a lot of hip hop. So y'all wouldn't even believe it's true. But at the same time, we were riding down the road, and Dame said, "Man, Rodney, I got something I want you to listen to." And that was your boy, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
When I heard that song, it became my favorite song, didn't it?
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if everybody heard the Jay-Z song. I ain't gonna broadcast it, but that song did something to me that day, because I'm like, man, this is what we're talking about. We should own stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Why can't we own stuff? We had the opportunity to buy that painting and turn it into
a Picasso.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, the things that Jay was saying in the music was where we were, and that's where we are. So we're just trying to change the game, make sure we educate and pass the knowledge on, that anybody that's thinking about business, they can own the things that's around you, your clothes, you know, your cars, you know, the shingles on your house, you know, you name it, you can own it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Own it. So, I mean, you know, it's passion. I try not to get on my soapbox about all that, but what we got to do is we're gonna come back after this break and start to really talk about some things, Jesse, that we really have experienced the last couple of years
Yes,
in building this platform.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll be back here at PN Global News, August 30th, 2018. Always at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Thursday. But I'll be back with my boy,
Jesse McRae,
in a moment.
In a minute.
School's over. What's next? Imagine a place where friendly faces say hello. You grab a healthy snack, have fun, and play a little. Imagine a place where you get lost in a book, get help with homework, or learn in the computer lab, where you create something cool. Kids take the stage, and you get some exercise. Imagine a safe place where you hang out with friends. Your voice matters, and someone's always there to listen. A place where you like spending the afternoon, and you can't wait to tell someone all about it. The club is a fun, positive, and safe place to grow. A place to become anything you dream. Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
PN Global News, August 30, 2018.
Man.
My man,
I
Jesse
tell you,
McRae.
Jesse McRae, Rodney Woods.
Rodney Woods.
Right back at you, PN Global
Oh
News.
man, Jesse, I'm telling you, man, we always have great dialogue about the small business community. And I know, we was kind of talking about, a lot of what Wanda Durant said and how T-Mac feels and other athletes, but, truthfully speaking,
Because they're also looking at making investments in small business.
in small business.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about that is what we try to do here at PN Global News and www.Playbook Investors Network with an S.
With an S.
Network.com. What we try to do effectively and communicate it is to teach the athlete entertainers too, who has liquidity, how they can actually invest in these small businesses. And we talked about this a little bit, how that when we were growing up, we saw these businesses around us but didn't know what they were.
Exactly.
Or who they were. I was telling you about Tracy at the Coca-Cola plant, not knowing that we could own a piece of this because we had liquidity. So the reason we talk so heavily today about the athlete entertainer is simply because you can own it.
Yes, you can.
You can own it. We got a great investor pool of businesses and financial institutions and investors that are looking to match up. One, from the small business community to get educated and understand the process of gaining access to the capital.
Especially when they have an audience,
Yeah.
whether it be an athlete, entertainer, or an institution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is all not the same.
But it's kind of the same.
Kind of the same.
But
Or
not all the same.
Not all the same. No. Because the athlete entertainer is looking at it at a different lens.
Through a risk lens.
And plus you playing ball, you got a lot of you got a lot of people pulling and tugging at you, whether you be Alex Rodriguez or T-Mac or Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan, or LeBron James or whomever.
Sure,
You got a
absolutely.
lot of people pulling at you. But I mean, honestly, to understand that there is an opportunity for you as an athlete entertainer to get educated on how to own these small businesses. The small businesses, I mean, believe it or not, and I know a lot of people want to say this, but the small business community is really the fuel to the economy.
Without question.
It's
Without
the fuel
question.
to the economy. It's the fuel to the economy, and it creates jobs and growth and a whole social impact that we're missing.
And what's interesting about what you just said about small business being the engine is we're not just talking about lemonade stands. Now,
No.
we're talking about viable, growing enterprises
Right.
that are making a contribution
Right.
not only in terms of paying wages or hiring someone as a 1099 consultant,
Right.
but they're of a certain scale,
Yeah.
depending upon where they're located.
Right.
That they're contributing to the local tax base and the GDP in a major way. You take a Walmart, not to promote them necessarily, but you just take you take an institution of that size and you plug them into a community of 100,000, they're going to drive that local economy.
Absolutely.
Now, let's
No question
no
about
question
it.
about it. So
No
now,
question.
so imagine if you have an athlete or entertainer that is looking to make an investment. You've got a growing small to middle market enterprise
Okay.
that is looking for capital, and You're looking for capital, certainly. Looking for capital, and now you, to your point, you cause them to interface. Because now you're talking about an investor, regardless of his or her vocation, regardless of their affluence. The most important thing is they have risk capital to deploy. And then you take the CEO, he or she, that regardless of really how far they've come, because they had to come from somewhere. Chances are this business grew out of a concept on a napkin, and then an 8.5 by 11, and then a whiteboard, and then an executive summary between PowerPoint and PDF. Or they may have said,
I've got one better when you finish, though. I got one better. Where it grew. But go ahead. I got one better.
And so now they are full grown, full blown, growing and going, but then all of a sudden they come to that crossroad.
And just to add, because I always got one with Jesse, because I got to stay with J-Mac, But that growing company, also corporate America. Because, and there's no knock on it, but I wanted to do something different, right? I woke up that morning, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to own my own business.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I didn't have a napkin. I just had a dream. I had a concept.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, I can do this. I want to own my own business, or I want to make something, or I want to do something. So that whole entrepreneur thing, this whole society and making America great now is all about the entrepreneurship. The
Very much
entrepreneurship,
so.
this is an entrepreneur society. Everybody, pretty much, either A, you're going to work in corporate America, or you don't want to work for nobody but yourself. So it's become, you might not have the napkin to write on, but you had a dream, and you had a goal, you had a desire that I want to own my own business.
And that is so important.
Yeah.
Because really, the piston in all of this is the constant juggle between one's desire and one's anxieties. And said differently, their ambitions versus the barriers. Okay?
And anxiety, fear, whatever you want to call it, it's there. You don't know it's there until you get to that hurdle, like, okay, how am I really going to get this to the next level? I did well coming out of the gate, but, Jesse, I don't know how to, I really don't know. I've talked to my bank, I've talked to my cousin, I've talked to my brother.
And I have a $10 million business.
I don't know how to get there.
But I got to go to the next level.
I don't know how to get there.
One of the things that I know that Mark and Marty in particular last week brought up is when considering that investment, whether it be from an athlete or entertainer, whether it be from an institution, whether a bank, family office, or what have you, is what are my expectations for the capital? And from an investor standpoint, what are my expectations for the return? And so when we talk about going through that process of fear to action, that is one of the inconvenient truths is, okay, now I'm at a point of needing to ask. Rodney and Jesse have given me the tools to ask, whether it be at www.playbookinvestors.network.com,
Absolutely.
whether it be by way of Penn Global News, by way of the Facebook, Roku, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, any other kind of medium that we're out there. But all humor aside, we've been given the tools. So we can't say we don't know. We can't say we don't know how to ask. We can't say we don't know what to speak to. But now it comes down to whether or not we are willing to negotiate based upon those tools to get what we need. So the question now becomes, is it solely fear to lose, or is it a fear to succeed beyond the point of what we've realized?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's a combination of both. Depending on the company, depending on the person. Some people have a fear factor losing. I think everybody should have a fear factor losing. You don't want to lose.
It can be a great motivator.
Yeah, it could be a great. It's a motivator. And they say you gotta. I don't know. Everybody the cliche thing. You gotta fail before you can succeed. I don't always believe in that. So that's just me personally. But because if I've seen everybody else fail, why do I need to fail? If I know that Jesse and Rodney or others at Playbook Investor Network or Penn Global News are trying to help me or get me educated, why can't I just listen to that and do this and make sure I don't fail? So we do this because we don't want you to fail. We don't want you to have an L, right? So I don't know if it's the fear factor of failing or just a fear factor like I don't want to be told no, because a lot of times, I think the fear factor for a lot of us is that we have a good business and we want to scale a business. We've asked a couple of times, just kind of hitting around like, hey man, I'm really looking for $1 million, and people are like, what? We become like the plague.
And
right?
we've had a few instances where it's like, I won't even look at a deal unless it's $50 million.
Yeah, and we have that.
And
yes.
we have that. I mean, so.
But is the fear factor of the L losing, or the fear factor is that I don't want to ask because I don't want nobody to tell me no. And that's tough sometimes, because if you go Jesse to one of your institutions that you've worked with in the past, you've brought money to them and everything else, and you guys did the American Airlines Arena. I couldn't get the words out. American Airlines Arena. But if you go back to one of your sources of capital, you say, "Hey, I got this good company. I want to put," and they say, "Nah, Jess, I don't like that." Man, that's not only tough, but that's sometimes a fear factor of knowing, or the inconvenient truth of understanding that you're gonna get a no. But they say, I like it. I like everything you're doing, Jay. I love your business. I love this. I love that. But nah, we're not gonna be able to give you that $1 million, $2 million. Man, that's it's tough.
It is tough. And one of the other parts of that is also, as a CEO or senior VP, understanding that any solicitation of capital is a negotiation. Some money is going to be inconvenient money.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give certain things to get certain things. And so I think that when I mentioned about the fear of success, we've had conversations in select circles where folks will say, I like the sweet spot I'm in.
I love this spot.
Well, and she did say I love.
Yeah,
She said, I love the spot I'm in. I'm not interested in really growing beyond where I am. And you and I looked at each other with a bit of astonishment.
Like,
what?
That wasn't even rehearsed.
And it was almost that synchronized, let me tell you.
What?
But reflecting on that conversation, what was not sort of said directly, but was suggested is that she was proud of what she'd built.
Yeah, absolutely.
She had grown her company to a point to where she felt like that, and created a succession plan around some of the leadership to where it was in good stead, and she felt as though that for its footprint, it was a part of her legacy. Yeah. Now, the takeaway from that now is okay, there are going to be some companies out there that won't be satisfied with that. We're hoping that most of you will not be satisfied with that. Why? Because, again, as a small business, as a small to middle market enterprise, if you're looking to grow through partnership, which is one of the themes of our fund, is you want to make sure that you align yourself with institutions, the Toyotas, the Volkswagens, the BMWs, the Fords, that are looking to say, look, I know that if I can find a viable enterprise that makes a good product, that they will be judicious with the capital that they get, I will create more opportunity for them. Yeah. So what do we see? That the inconvenient truth is, you may be in a spot to where you don't want to take advantage of that opportunity. If that is the case, certainly by all means continue success. Right. We want to make sure that we talk to those other small to middle market enterprises that don't have that fear.
And the inconvenient truth of some corporations don't really want you yet, or the inconvenient truth is you're not ready yet.
Yep.
So take us away, J Mac.
This is one thing is always understand we are absolutely committed to making ourselves available to you, that you would understand that this platform is to provide the tools for you to assess the opportunity, discern the risk, and be able to clearly communicate your growth vision to the investing public.
Great. Well, look, with that said, Jesse, we're going to come back after this break, and we're going to finish this up and wrap this up for this week, August 30th, 2018, PN Global News, and we'll return after the break.
In a moment.
Hello, I'm Randall Bird. I'm a gynecologist on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. Robotic surgery is certainly a portion of the future of medicine. Through the use of computer-assisted technology, the robot allows patients to have less pain, a shorter hospitalization, and it allows them to return to their work and their lifestyle much faster. My patients particularly appreciate the care they receive at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. The nursing staff always gets high marks, and they're specially trained to deal with patients after minimally invasive surgery. The facility is beautiful, and the food is excellent. If you're considering a gynecological procedure, major or minor, please speak with your physician. And remember, the physicians on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery are always available to help.
All right, we're back at Penn Global News.
You know,
Here with my man.
Jesse McRae and the incomparable Rodney Woods. You know, if the audience only knew the kind of sage wisdom that I get from you in between the breaks. I mean,
Don't make me choke.
Man, some of this stuff I'm going to figure out how to bottle and put a label on.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell Court, don't make me choke.
But good to be here.
Yeah, brother.
August 30th.
All right. Yeah, man.
Get
Hey,
a chance to see each other again.
2018, we're
2018.
upright, we're standing upright, man. We're able to talk, we're able to speak, we're able to look, we're able to hear.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that's a blessing, dude.
It is that. It
That's
is
always
that.
a blessing. So, and just to be able to come here.
And where's here? Where's here?
Here, this wonderful establishment. Hold up, get the words right. Wonderful establishment. We're here at where?
Unified Network right here in Frisco, Texas.
Yeah,
You
and
know-
that's Unified
Network
Network
in Frisco,
in Frisco,
Texas.
Texas.
Now,
Y'all better come see us, though.
you got to come see us. Let me tell you something.
You got to come by here to Unify, man. It's a wonderful place.
I
wonderful
remember. You know, this is probably our sixth show.
This is a business too. You can own this.
I tell you what, we
Right?
coming
You can
in
own
here,
this,
you
right?
can own it. You can own it. Coming in and just being getting a chance to understand the vision of Ed and Court and the other team members
Yeah.
that make this production possible from an infrastructure standpoint.
Yeah.
I remember coming in and said, man, this is like going from a Chevy to a
I
Cadillac.
remember that. I do
You know,
remember that. I do.
but
do.
one of the things we do appreciate is having a venue like this
Yeah.
with a delivery like this to make sure that we continue to be effective
Yeah.
in communicating the fact that there's going to be some inconveniences associated with growing your business.
Inconvenience truth.
And growing your business. And what's more uncomfortable for the average human being, although entrepreneurs are far from average, but what's more uncomfortable for the average human being than to ask for help?
You know, and Jesse, I tell you, man, being in this game now, 18 years, just, seeing a lot of businesses working with major corporations to identify their supply chain, to try to work for these major corporations and stuff. I mean, you done seen it all, you heard it all, man. You've seen a lot of great businesses, and you've seen a lot of great businesses fail. Too. You've seen a lot of great businesses go away, and you ask, because when you're in that network, it's just like the athlete being in the locker room, it's locker room talk. In the business world, it's business talk. In the corporate world, it's corporations talk, and they talk about different businesses.
Yes, they do.
So all that stuff, kind of like, gets talked about. But when you see the businesses that fail, you're like, man, how did that business fail? And they were doing so well. That's because that's what we saw. We're not behind the scenes with that business until we actually talk to a business, or that business comes to you, or myself, or any member of our group, or Playbook Investors Network, or any trade organization, or any corporation. They say, hey, we got some challenges with these businesses right here, and they need help. But that's why we're here. We're here to help you.
Yes, we are.
We're not a threat. We always added value to you to actually, give you the tools that you need to get to the next level. Or the education.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very
It's
important.
just the education alone, just to understand there's a lot of things that we just don't know as a small business.
And that's inconvenient in and of itself because we think we know everything.
Yeah. And there's a couple sides.
Yeah.
We got the private-public side of business. You got the government side, and you got wonderful people that will educate you, like Tabitha and Raj Chappelle on the NASA side, or the DOD, or the Department of
Very impressive folks.
The Department of Transportation. You got the MBDA, you got the SBA. All these arms and groups are out there to really educate you to be able to do business with them too. But you got to go get it.
And we can't forget, some of the local institutions that have been just instrumental in not only providing the certifications to help companies take advantage of some of these earmarked opportunities like the NMSDC.
Yeah.
But then the institutions themselves, the Bank of Americas, the Fifth Thirds, the Toyota Motor Corporation,
Yeah.
Institutions that understand that if you have a good product or good service and you have a demonstrated ability to manage and grow a good business,
Yeah.
we're going to create opportunities for you because you are helping us both from a quality standpoint in terms of the product, but you're also helping us carry out the bigger vision, and that is to better serve the communities that we sell to.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Rodney, because you and I all the time, we're in various circles, we're at various venues, and we hear the question, how can I?
Yeah.
How do I?
I do it. How can I?
Why should I? Why wouldn't they? Well, and we almost come back to a man or a woman and say, well, instead of just asking the how, our question for you is why haven't? Why didn't? Why wouldn't? Why shouldn't?
And sometimes it becomes a little controversial, you know.
A little defensive.
A little defensive. Like, why you ask me that question? I have to ask you a question.
Because the
you
investing
really
public's going to
right.
ask it.
If you thought that you could do this and you could go to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Fifth Third, or a VC firm, or private equity firm, or micro lending, or whatever, athlete entertainment. If you thought you could do those things, you would have done it. And obviously, if you think you could do it, go do it. But if you really want help, we're here to help you try to do those things. Try to educate you on how to go ask, but also get all your tools lined up. You gotta build this business.
Got to build this
business. You have the tools to do it. So, I mean, like I say, we always very humble, but we're not a threat. We're not a threat. We add value to anybody and everybody, any business, whether you're minority, woman-owned, government, LGBTQ, chamber of commerce,
veterans,
government, 7A, 8A, 504, disadvantaged hub zone,
small majority,
disadvantaged business.
We'll talk to them all. We'll talk to them all.
We'll talk to y'all because my thing and our thing is that we're just trying to educate the listening audience and the public, the business community and the investing public, that you're out here. You've gotten educated. Now you have a better opportunity now to go get capital. Because
you have a good business.
Great
you
business.
have a viable business.
Yeah.
One of the things we always talk about is understand that institutions, investors, they want, in the theme of our fund, the Verite Investors Fund, is we want to be good and do well by doing good. And these institutions, they echo that theme, but they want to do good because good means good. Good doesn't mean okay. Good doesn't mean haphazard. Good means that you are transparent, that you're ethical, that you have a viable enterprise with a real revenue track record, you have a management team, that you have been judicious about your resources, but you also want to grow in partnership. And so view
and profitability.
Profitability
is important to everybody.
View the Playbook Investors Network as a partner in your growth vision, because that's what this has always been about. I know I talk to you all the time, Rodney, about the vision in terms of how this platform was born, and I know you always shy away from some of that. I know you always shy away from that. I know you always shy away from that. But it's very important to understand that you yourself embrace the inconvenient truth that at a point you began to assemble the tools to grow this vision.
And the tools are people like Jesse. People like the staff. People like the staff we have, Ron, Shakita, Robert, K-Mill, Sharice,
Carrie.
Carrie Claiborne's, and the list goes on and on. Will Harbor's, Gina's. I mean, and we could keep on expounding on the names, but it's all about those tools, the human capital.
Very much so.
Then it's about the tools you need, the computers, the AI and the RPA that we talk about, the artificial intelligence you need to help some companies navigate space because you really don't know. It's a lot of things, the people that believe in you,
like the
investors,
Gwen Concerns.
The Gwen Concerns,
Wesley Barnett's.
the Wesley Barnett's, and I love one who we lost, Henry Jackson.
Mr. Jackson.
Without that, we don't have any of this. We don't have any of this. Even the small players, man. I mean, you look at the Angela Allens,
indeed,
the Rhoda Caldwells in Detroit, Michigan. You look at all of those people who have been a part of making this happen.
Very important,
right? I only had a vision like, how do we help? How do we change the game? And how can we take a Playbook Investors Network and make it like a Facebook that everybody can monetize off of? Everybody could get to the next level, or take a brand like Tracy or or KD or Wanda Duran or Jesse McRae? How do you take those brands and make everybody understand that I'm really trying to help you?
Mhm.
You know, we're not, everybody wants to win, right? Money wants a return.
Money wants a return.
They want a return. The investors want a return, right, Jay?
On it and of it.
Corporation wants you to do a good job so you can make more products, get more sales
That's right.
out there.
That's right.
Well, business wants you to, hey,
Right.
how do you create foot traffic to my brand?
Yep.
You know, how
Yep.
do you drive people to my brand? And that's why we get all these brand ambassadors. You know, just
Very
driving-
important pieces.
Yeah, just driving foot traffic to the brands, the Adidas, the Nikes, you know, the Under Armours, whatever. But I'm saying outside of all of that, how do we own some of this stuff? How do we take these small businesses and help them get to the next level that you can manufacture that Adidas shoe, that Under Armour shoe? I mean, we want to talk to Steph. How do we get in there and make some of that?
How do we do it?
How do we do it?
How
I
do
mean,
we
you
do
know,
it?
and we don't want to preach about it. 'Cause,
Nope.
You know, we're passionate
No,
about it.
we're very passionate about
We're
it.
all passionate about it. We're about
Absolutely.
we're about to get the prayer cloth moments.
Yes,
and
we
stuff,
are.
Right?
Yes, we are.
But I mean, honestly, and I think anybody that knows us know we're serious. Know we're passionate about what we're doing. But you know, it's always going to be questions. Always going to be challenges. And there's a risk associated with every deal you do and every money that you actually deploy to your group too, and every money that's deployed from any investor
To you.
There's a risk. There's a risk associated with that as well. So we get that.
And I think that, you know, one of the wonderful things about just this segment, this series, The Inconvenient Truth, is
Yep.
we're always going to come back to perhaps the most important inconvenience
Yeah.
to understand
Yeah.
is that you, being the CEO, don't
I
know,
am? Oh,
don't
I didn't know.
No. I was generally speaking,
I'm not
just don't know everything.
Wait,
Yeah,
don't.
the CEOs
Without
don't
people
know
like
everything.
you guys, I don't know everything, man. I rely on you, Jesse. I rely on the team. I rely on LaRonda. I rely on Shakita. And speaking of which, of relying on people, we're relying on the young fellas working with Robert Woods and Inconvenient Truth
Of
for
millennials.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
The Inconvenient Truth for millennials is coming. It's coming
Yep.
to this set.
Yep.
Excuse me. It's coming to, you know, this operations here, Unified Network out here in Frisco, Texas, is coming because there's an inconvenient truth of millennials. We talk about this, and we talked about this every day too on the social media side. But there's a whole lot of inconvenient truth of why you guys are not scaling and doing the things you need to do to actually own some of these things yourself.
Because you have businesses. I mean, I was amazed at the statistic that I saw
Oh my God.
for the millennial generation. I mean,
Yeah.
they are going to be that middle market enterprise.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they're already the small enterprise.
Yeah,
You know, we read
yeah.
the headlines all the time about the small Kansas company that started out in the garage, or you know the small little companies in Bodunk, Texas that has decided to elevate. Bodunk.
Bodunk? Is that Bodunk, Texas?
I don't know. I'm trying to capture the fact that this is a small place in a big state.
Okay.
But we hear
Bodunk, Texas.
we,
All right.
we hear those success
No,
stories.
you got it. Right.
And they're very important success stories because they're
Right.
part of the fabric of what makes this country great.
Yeah.
And so the Inconvenient Truth, man, I'm excited about this series.
Nah, we
This
are,
is going to
man.
be a good
We
one.
really are.
We've had to embrace it. CEOs have to embrace it every day because there's an inconvenient truth and consequence to running their business. These next few segments, I think, Rodney, are going to be some of the most impactful. that
Oh,
we've ever had.
man, Jesse, I totally concur with you. I mean, there's a lot of inconvenient truth about a lot of things that we talk about because, I mean, even as, you know, a business, they said that you can't do that.
Yep.
You know, as an athlete entertainer, you can't play, you know, basketball, football, or baseball, or you're not going to make it to the NBA, you know, that kind of stuff. And we've seen those successes. And there's successes all the time, all around you. You know, it's just a lot of times we don't really know or see those successes, and we try to highlight these small businesses because they are success stories.
Very much so.
You know, and
Very
and
much
it's
so.
a huge economic impact to the places that we reside in, the places we grew up at, and all that kind of stuff. So, man, the inconvenient truth, oh my God.
You know what's really inconvenient? What's really inconvenient is we're going to have to leave this really
Is
really
that the
nice
inconvenient
studio.
truth? We gotta
Got to leave this
leave
studio.
the-
Got to leave this studio.
Today?
Got to leave
Oh,
Unified
my
Network
God.
right here in Frisco, Texas.
I ain't ready.
And then I have to go to some hot office, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll stop and get a salad or something. I
You'll
don't
get a
know.
salad,
But anyway,
Jay.
Rodney Woods, Jesse McRae, Penn Global News, Playbook Investors Network, PlaybookInvestorsNetwork.com. Find us. Best of luck to you. and we'll see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday. Have a great week.